Okay. Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, all dear students. Good morning. It's exactly 5, yeah, 10 now. It's exactly 10. So we are going to start the class now. So before starting the class, I'm going to launch a poll. Just let me know if I'm perfectly audible to you or not and the screen is visible or not. Okay, so I'm going to launch the poll. Please make sure that you have answered. Okay, right. So I'm perfectly audible to everyone without any problems. Great, great, cool. Okay, so for those who don't know me, my name is Ghazala Firdaus and I'm one of the biology mentors in Avanti Fellows. Okay, so what we have done in the last class, okay, so in the last class, we have completed the human reproduction chapter and we have done the previous year questions. If you have not seen that, please go and visit that. Okay, and for my dear Zoom students, I hope you have read the NCERT and you are here to read the reproductive health chapter and to understand it perfectly. Okay, so without any further delay, let's start the class. Okay, so what exactly we are going to study today? So these are the outlines of the chapter that we are going to study. Okay, to be precise, I can say this is the objective of studying this chapter. Okay, so reproductive health. So how important it is, what are the problems and strategies in maintaining the health? Population explosion and control, how to control this population which has been keep growing from many years. Okay, then what are the contraceptive methods? Okay, if you say control, so contraceptive methods come and takes the very important part. Okay, so then comes the medical termination of pregnancy. Okay, then sexually transmitted diseases and infertility. So these are the parts that we are going to understand today. Okay, great. So, yeah, good morning, Bhavnagar. Good morning. Yes, beta. Please be active in the chat. If you have any doubts, please make sure to keep answering me. Okay, or write in the chat box. Clear? Okay, so this was the outline for today's concept. And we'll move ahead and I'll ask you a very basic question. Okay, students. So this question is very much basic, and I know it is like a pre-knowledge question for you to know how much you already know about this chapter. Okay, so question is, what is the marriageable age for the females and males respectively in India? Okay, so options are on the screen. Please take your time, see the options, and now I'm going to launch the poll and make sure that you answer in the chat box and also in the poll. Okay, great. Read the question carefully. And I will really appreciate the students, those who answer in the chat box also. Okay. Yes. I want participation, my students. Just guess. Okay. So your 30 seconds are done. Very good. I have got my answer. Thank you so much for answering. Okay, clear. So what we are going to understand here is, this is a very basic question, like everybody on this planet might know this. Okay, so marriageable age for females and males in India is nothing but 18 and 21. It is as simple as that, and answer is B. So you know this. Very nice. Now let's understand how WHO, that is World Health Organization, has talked about the reproductive health. According to World Health Organization, reproductive health is nothing but the well-being of many aspects in reproduction. Okay, so what are those aspects? It might be physical, it might be emotional, it might be behavioral and social. Okay, so to have a perfect, happy union family, somewhere or another, reproductive health is a very important factor. Okay, and who says this? This is said by World Health Organization. Clear? Now, So you might be seeing when we talk about population, there has always been a problem, right? There has always been a problem in population, especially in our country. So India was amongst the first countries in the world to initiate the action plan and programs to maintain the population or to control the population. Because in our India, the population was exceeding very much. Hence, to control the population, here in India, we have started a plan. We call that as a family planning. Okay, so many action plans were made, and among those, family planning is one of the initiated plan which has initiated on 1951. Okay, in the 1951, the plan was started. Okay, then, so not just World Health Organization or our India. In India, you can see a very important program that is RCH. So what do you mean by RCH? RCH means Reproductive and Child Health Care Programs. Okay, so as I have told you in the previous slide, there was the family planning. So family planning is not just the one, there are many beta. Okay, so among those, RCH is one of the programs. So what they are doing here, they are improving the programs covering the wider reproduction related areas. Okay, so giving a knowledge for the people, creating an awareness among people, and there are many more actions that are done by RCH. Okay, so what are the major tasks? I told you, right? What are the major tasks? I told you creating awareness among the people. So awareness means how to control the population. What are the ways that we can follow by which we can control the population in our country? Okay, and also how to build a healthy reproductive society. I told you, right? This reproductive health is related with our overall health and welfare in the society. Hence, we have to be reproductively healthy, right? Okay. Now, so here I have shown you various modes of creating awareness in people. Okay, I have told you we will be creating awareness, but how? Exactly how, ma'am? So that is the answer that I'm going to show here. So first is by showing the audio and visual. Okay, so to the people of by the government agencies or NGOs. Okay, so NGOs are actually the very important playing role here, and along with the government also. Both of them are playing a very important role in creating awareness. So I will, I'm keep saying, हाँ हमको awareness create करना है, but to whom? To whom we have to say? We have to talk to parents, we have to talk to relatives, close friends, families, and everyone, because if we spread the knowledge, they will spread the knowledge further ahead. So like this, we will be creating a better awareness. And very important is introduction of sex education in schools. Because in schools, children might be having many misconceptions about many things. So it is better to clear those doubts and give a basic knowledge for the students to have the clear understanding to get the prevention from many upcoming disasters. Okay, and the proper information of the reproductive organs, what is adolescence, and hygiene, very important. Okay, so how to maintain our personal hygiene, how to control the STDs or AIDS. Okay, sexually transmitted diseases, and very importantly, AIDS. Okay, so like this, we have been creating about many things in the plannings. Okay, RCH and family planning both were included, and they have made it their mission to create the awareness among people. Okay, and I was telling you about the sex education in India. Okay, so why it is very important, to give the sex education in schools. Okay, so that is because to provide the right information. Okay, I'll give you one example. I had a student, he had a lot of confusions regarding this. He asked in a class, okay, ma'am, if we case there will be the conception, then the pregnancy will occur. See how basic that is. Many students even don't know that. Okay, so we being a teacher, it is our job to give you the right information and how to vanish those myths. Okay, so these myths and avoid misconception and give the proper health and hygiene instructions. Clear? Now we are coming to the very important part. Okay, so all of this part which I have talked now, if you read NCERT, you will understand it. But from now, what we are reading, it is a very important concept, and especially amniocentesis is the one which has been frequently asked in the NEET questions. Okay, so what is amniocentesis, beta? Okay, you see, there's a pregnant woman, okay, and the doctor wants to check the health of the baby or if there are any genetical diseases, okay, or disorders. So what he will do, he will withdraw the amniotic fluid through an injection, and that amniotic fluid will be tested to get the results. Okay, so it will give importantly the presence. Okay, it will tell us if there are any genetical disorders or any of the survival problems in the fetus. Okay, so this is about the amniocentesis, very important. Please remember this. Okay, now, so your NCRT has talked about Saheli. Okay, so Saheli is one of the important contraceptive that has been used from many years from now. Okay, so बहुत साल हो गए हैं अभी सहेली को मतलब मार्केट में आके. Okay, so this Saheli was developed by the organization, or you can say an institute, that is Central Drug Research Institute. Okay, CDRI, that is in Lucknow. You have to remember this might asked in the NEET also. Okay, so this type of questions will be asked eventually. Okay, Saheli and the CDRI. Clear? We are good to go. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you are clear here. Okay, amniocentesis. Okay, amniotic fluid को test किया जाता है. That is there. And Saheli, it is one of the oral contraceptive that was made for the females, and it has been done like many years ago. Okay, now, so we have talked about the creating awareness. Yeah, very good. Very good, Kolhapur. Great. So now we'll talk about the population explosion and birth control. So what has been happening? Okay, so increased health facilities, hospitals are increased. अब है ना, सब लोग अच्छे से हैं, सब लोग healthy हैं, people are aware of which is healthy, which is unhealthy, and they have been taking a healthy diet. Hence, what happened? The death rates have been decreased and the living rate, okay, have been increased. Because of that, there is an impact of growth in population. Okay, you can see here 2 billion. Okay, 2 billion population was around in the 1900, which is rocketed or increased by 6 billion in 2000. Okay, this is such a drastic change, right? And then every sixth person in the world is an Indian who is giving birth to a child. That much high population India is facing. Okay, so here is one more important point you have to remember. World Population Day is 11th July. Okay, so now what we have to do? We have to do some control, right? We have to control. So what are those control methods we can do? By launching many advertisements. Okay, you have been hearing this logo in DD National or any TVs. Okay, hum do hamare do. So government has made so many advertisements to create awareness among the people. Hum do hai, hamare do bacche bas. Okay, we have to stop there and not going further. So this is about the slogan. And many couples have also adopted the one child norm. Okay, they'll have only one child. That is enough for them. Okay, and also the ages have been given. 21 age is the minimum age for a boy and 18 is for the girl. Okay, now we are going to talk about which is an ideal contraceptive. Okay, so ideal contraceptive must be a user friendly and easily available. It should be not a very big rocket science. Okay, so it should be very easy to understand, easily available, with less side effects. Okay, with less or no side effects. Okay, and it should not interfere the sexual desire or the sexual act. Okay, so very importantly, it gives the privacy for the user. Okay, so it should give the privacy for the user and it should be user friendly. These are some points for the ideal contraceptive. Now we are going to study about the contraceptive methods. Okay, this is very important. What we are talking now is crucial. Okay, for your need, please pay attention. Okay, so contraceptive methods, these are all the methods. Okay, so first we are going to study about the first point, that is natural or traditional methods. Okay, natural or traditional methods, it includes 3 points. Okay, periodic abstinence, withdrawal or coitus interruptus, and LAM. Okay, lactational amenorrhea. So here we are going to see the 3 important types. Okay, so what is periodic abstinence? It's very simple, Vita. Okay, if you see the month of a woman, or you can see the menstrual calendar, there will be 3 stages, right? We have studied this in the menstrual cycles. There is a 3 stage: pre-ovulation, ovulation and post-ovulation. Okay, pre-ovulation mein kya hoga? There will be the formation of follicles. Okay, folliculogenesis will happen, formation of follicles in the ovary. In the ovulation, there is a release of secondary oocyte or ovum from the ovary, which will be picked up by the fimbriae. Okay, then post-ovulation, what happens? The remaining follicle, which has ovulated the secondary oocyte, will turn into the corpus luteum. Right? I hope you remember that cycle and everything. So here, if you see 13, 14, 15 are the days of ovulation. And these days are also called as the risky days. Because if you have the sexual intercourse in these days, it will be very complicated. Okay. Eventually the couple might get, conceived, or the female might get conceived to have a pregnant, okay, or to become a pregnant. So that is why we abstain or prevent from having sexual intercourse on the days of ovulation. It is called periodic abstinence. Okay, clear? And the second point is withdrawal or coitus interruptus. What happens? When the couple is having a sexual intercourse, the male person or the male has to withdraw his penis just before the ejaculation. Okay, should not ejaculate inside the vagina, but he has to take out his penis and ejaculate outside. This is called withdrawal method. Okay, so withdrawal, periodic abstinence, and these are natural methods. Great, yeah. And another one is lactational amenorrhea. Okay, so we have talked about this reflux, right? We have talked about the Lamb mechanism in the yesterday's class. I told you there will be a suckling reflex. Okay, what happens when a baby suckles to a nipple? There will be receptors in the nipple, and that will give the message to brain, that is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus will release the hormone oxytocin. That oxytocin will help in the ejection of milk. Okay, so this suckling reflex is nothing but the Lamb mechanism action. Okay, so in happening of all these mechanisms, there is an advantage for a woman in the contraceptive manner. Okay, what happens after pregnancy? Up to 5 to 6 months, the lady will be having the contraceptive nature in her. Okay, so if they have the sexual intercourse in this time, the possibility are very less. You might ask me, ma'am, why is that? Okay, why is that? Because intense lactation will create the prolactin. I have told you prolactin is released by a prolactin releasing hormone released from the anterior pituitary gland. Okay, so I hope you remember yesterday's class. You do, right? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you remember this suckling reflex. Quick. Okay, great. Great, my students. Yeah, so all of you are attentive and listening. Okay. And please be active in the chat box and keep asking questions. Give me a thumbs up. If you have any question, please raise hand. You can raise hands in the Zoom. Okay. Yeah. So this prolactin will suppress the secretion of luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. So this eventually there will be no ovulation. Okay. Right? Luteinizing hormone helps in the ovulation, and FSH helps mostly in the formation of follicles. Okay, so follicles ki formation mein follicle stimulating hormone is needed. If these both are suppressed, then there is no ovulation. When there is no ovulation, no eggs and no chance for pregnancy. Okay, but, okay, as long as the mother breastfeeds child fully, the chances of conceptions are almost nil. Okay, if the person is fully feeding the breast, feeding, I'm talking about the female, okay, the chances are very nil. But there might be possibilities of having the false alarms. Okay, so क्या होता है बेटा, कभी-कभी lady misconception में रहती है कि she's in a lactational amenorrhea, but for some people this duration might vary. For some people it might goes up to 1 year. For some it might end in 4 months. So we have to be very precautious while following this method. Okay, so these are the 3 natural methods. Now coming to the barrier methods. Barrier means what? There is some barrier, a wall between 2 things. Okay, so here barrier method means what? It is one of the famous method that is being used worldwide. Okay, so here there is an avoided the meeting of sperm and a egg. A sperm and an egg are avoided to reach with each other so that to avoid fertilization. Okay, so what are the barrier types here? You can see condoms, diaphragms, cervical caps, and vaginal sponge. You will study every one of these in the upcoming slides. Okay, so such methods, barrier methods, are included for both males and females. Clear? And the very famous barrier method is condom. You are very clear of that, right? Okay. So here I have given you some advantages of barrier methods. Okay. So this you have to remember, because every time in the NEET they will ask you about the condom question. Okay. So condom are used for, contraceptive purpose, but they're also used to decrease the risk of sexual transmitted diseases or STDs. Okay, that is why condom is very, widely used in all over the world. Okay, and this here you can see nothing enters into the bloodstream and affect the whole body. Okay, so female will not be affected because there is nothing secreted inside the female body. Okay, whatever it is, it will be collected in the condom. Clear? So this is one of the advantage that the barrier methods are going to show. Then coming to the condoms, here you can see these are barriers made up of thin, very thin, okay, latex or rubber sheet. Okay, that are used to cover over the penis of a male, and you will be fascinated to hear there are female condoms as well. Okay, not just the male, there are female condoms as well. So here you can see this is used by the male person. Okay, this is the male one which has to wear over the penis, and this female one will be looking somewhat like this. Okay, it is somewhat like this. So before the sexual intercourse or the copulation, the lady has to wear this inside. So this is how she has to wear. Through the finger, she has to keep the female condom inside, and then they have to copulate or do the coitus. Okay, so this is how the male and female condom works. And the very famous brand, Nirod. Okay, it's very important for NEET. Okay, so Nirod is a very popular brand of condom which is manufactured by HLL. Okay, now, so as I have told you, it is doing the contraceptive work, but also preventing of spreading STDs. Clear? And it will give the privacy for the user. Okay, user के लिए privacy. See, if you talk about the IUDs or any other things, there you have to go and take the consultation of the doctor, and they will insert the objects in your body. But here, there is nothing like that. Complete privacy is there, and it is user friendly. Okay. Now, talking about the diaphragms and the cervical caps and walls. See, all these three are nothing but the barrier types. We know that. Okay. So this is how they look: diaphragm, cervical cap, and vault. Okay. So some are made up of rubber, and these are usually used with the spermicidal gel. Okay. So usually when people are using these barriers, they will use this spermicidal gel or the contraceptive jelly, because it increases the chances of contraception to a greater heights. Okay. So like this, you have to bend the diaphragm. It will be like this much cup shaped. You have to bend it because it is of rubber. It will be easily bended. And through the finger or the help of hand, you have to insert. The female has to insert the diaphragm inside, and then they can do the intercourse. Okay, so this will prevent the entry of sperms through the cervix, and it is reusable. Okay, you can sanitize it, you can sterilize it, and you can reuse it. Clear? Good morning, JNV Computer Lab. Okay, so now we're talking about the intrauterine devices. Okay, we have talked about the barrier methods, we have talked about the natural methods. Now coming to the intrauterine devices. These devices are inserted by doctor. I told you, right? Condoms will give you the privacy, but IUDs, you have to talk to doctors and they have to do the procedure. Okay, so this IUD will be inserted inside the female uterus. Okay, through the vagina, it will be inserted inside the uterus. Okay, so there are three main types of IUDs. How many types? Three main types: non-medicated IUD, copper-mediated IUD, and hormone-releasing. Okay, the first one which we are going to study here is non-medicated IUDs. Okay, so non-medicated means what? There is no use of any hormone. Okay, so you can see in the copper-medicated, there you can see there is a use of copper ions. In the hormone, we will see the use of progesterone and the estrogen, or any one of them. But here there is nothing like that. There is only a simple, very basic kind of IUD is this. So how this is going to work? See, this IUD is a foreign body, right? It's a foreign substance. So when anything of this foreign substance is introduced into the uterus, our body will think it as a non-self. And so many leukocytes will come there and they will try to kill it. Okay, so this is the response of antigen and antibodies that happens in our body. Okay, so hence it will be able to destroy the sperms and prevent the fertilization. Okay, and it also creates the unsuitable environment for the implantation by changing the endometrium. Okay, so examples Lippes loop and Paragard. Please remember, example are Lippes loop and Paragard for non-medicated IUD. Now coming to the copper releasing IUD, the examples are copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375. Okay, multi-load 375. Please remember. Now here what happens? This IUD will be having the copper. Okay, the copper thread, or you can say that copper wire has been, circulated or spirally surrounded through the copper T, or you can say the IUD. Okay, so this copper T will release the copper ions that suppress the sperm motility and able, okay, the fertilizing ability of the sperm will also be decreased. Okay, and there will be an increase of phagocytosis. I hope you all know what is phagocytosis. Okay, so phagocytosis means nothing but engulfing of substance. Phago means engulf. Okay, cytosis means cell. Okay, so engulfing of any cell, and that process is called as phagocytosis. Here what happened? The phagocytosis of sperm is happening. Okay, sperms are getting engulfed by the, okay, immune particles. Clear? So remember the examples, copper T, Cu7 and multi-load. Okay, the third one is hormone releasing IUD. I'm telling you again and again, you will get two questions from these intrauterine devices. One question is, you will get the examples, and the second one is to understand the mechanism, okay, of how copper releasing IUDs will work, and how hormone releasing IUD, and what they're affected, how they're affected. Okay, so only 2 points: so working and the examples. Please remember this. So example for hormone releasing IUD is Progestasert and LNG. If you are wondering what is LNG, please write it down. It is levonorgestrel. Okay, levonorgestrel. Clear? Now, so what these hormone releasing IUDs will do? They will make the uterus unsuitable for implantation, and cervix will be hostile for the sperms. Hostile means it is doing the opposite work. It is not likable environment. Okay, sperm के लिए वो एकदम favorable environment नहीं है. Okay, so that is hostile. So cervix is hostile for the sperm. And here you can see these IUDs are the ideal contraceptives for the female who want to delay the pregnancy. If you're wondering, the married couple, they don't use condoms very frequently, and they don't go for any other methods. IUD is best method for them. Okay, why? Because it will give you the gap between the children, like 3 years or 4 years. Okay, so for 4 years you can the person or the female can wear the property or any IUD, and then if they want to conceive a baby, if they want to have a child, it will be easily removed, and the process will be very simple. Okay, so this is the most loved, okay, a contraceptive method of the married couples, right? So I have written here, it is most widely accepted method in India. Okay, in India it is widely accepted. Now, oral contraceptives. Okay, oral means what? Anything you are taking from your mouth. Okay, oral contraceptives. Here, what you're going to do? So you are going to see some tablets. Okay, so ma'am, what tablets are these? What it is made up of? These are made up of progestogens or progestogen and estrogen combination. Okay, these are hormones and you are very familiar with this. Okay, menstrual cycle में पढ़ के रट्टा ऐसा मारा है कि बच्चों को सोते टाइम में भी उठा के पूछो, हाँ भाई बोलो क्या है progesterone, you will say the function, right? I know you do it. If you're not doing, then you're not perfect. If you're studying the human reproduction, then you should know the functions and the menstrual cycle, because that is very important concept. Okay, so here in the oral contraceptives, there will be usage of progesterone or estrogen or both. Okay, so these combinations are called as pills. Okay, and these pills have to be taken for 21 days. Okay, 21 days के लिए लिया जाता है बेटा. You can see here the start is here and end is here. You might be seeing, ma'am, what are these red tablets? These are nothing but vitamin tablets. Okay, many of the contraceptive pills will not have these. Will not have these. Some will have. Okay, these are nothing but okay given to अब देखो बेटा आदत होती है कुछ लोगों को. ओके, सो वो आदत बनी रहे. That's why these tablets are given and they contain only vitamins and minerals. Okay, there's nothing in that. Okay, but to maintain the habitual order of the person, they have given for a whole month. Okay, so the working is very simple here. I will tell you the working in the next slide. Okay, so here you can take a gap also. During the menstrual days, you can take a gap or you can take these vitamin kind of tablets also. Okay, so what it will do, you have to remember, pills will inhibit ovulation and implantation as well as alter the quality of mucus. Okay, cervical mucus. So you can, the females can observe the changes in the mucus. Okay, I don't know if you have observed it or not. Please do it. In the pre-ovulation and post-ovulation time, okay, the mucus which will be found is very sticky and very creamy, like very sticky. Okay, if you do the two-finger test, it will be very sticky and creamy. Okay, but during the ovulation time, it will be very elastic and flexible. Okay, you can pull it out like a string. Okay, so that is indication. If it is pulling out like a string, okay, like an elastic kind of component, then you are in a ovulation time. Okay, so here like this, if the cervix mucus is changed or altered, so that ovulation is not possible. This is also one of the job that is done by pills. Clear? समझ आ रहा है? Clear? Concepts are clear. If you have any doubts, please ask in the comments below, or you can say in the chat. Okay. Yes. So I have told you about Shaali, right? In the previous slides, I have just mentioned about Shaali, but here you can see what it is doing. Okay, so that does not affect ovulation. Okay, it's just steroidal preparation that does not affect the ovulation but prevents the implantation. Okay, so Shaali is doing what? It is preventing the implantation. Clear? And now you will ask them when to take Shaali tablet. You have to take it only for single tablet for a week. Okay, it's a weekly tablet, right? But it have side effects. If you ask me, all the oral contraceptives will have the side effects, beta. Okay. Now, another tablet that is Maladi and Malayan are also the oral contraceptives, and they have similar, similar functions like the Shaali. And these pills are very effective, but with lesser side effects. It has returned here with lesser side effects, but trust me, the side effects are more in oral contraceptives compared to others. Okay, so this is about the oral contraceptives. Now, I was telling you, right, ma'am, how this work. So as I have told you, my students are very clear with the menstrual cycle understanding. So if you are clear, I will know here. Okay, so here you can see there is a follicular phase, which is called as pre-ovulation phase, ovulation phase, luteal phase is post-ovulation phase. These have other names also. Okay, I know you know it. Clear? तो अब यहाँ पे देखो बेटा what is happening. Where is progesterone and estrogen? Okay, so you can see this is progesterone. Okay, and where is estrogen? Okay, so this is estrogen. Okay, this is estrogen. Clear? Yes, that is estrogen. Okay, so here you can see there is a ups and downs in the estrogen and progesterone. Clear? So why there is up in the during ovulation and pre-ovulation time is that I think the madam has told you in the last classes, okay, the folliculogenesis, the process where the follicles are developed, there what happened, there will be the formation of granulosa cells. है ना बेटा, वोवम में होता है granulosa cells, है ना? So those granulosa cells will give out the hormone of estrogen. Okay, so you will, you will be knowing that estrogen and progesterone are released by ovary. Okay, so ovary में आपको बोला मैंने progesterone किसने release किया था? You know it. In the last class we have studied that. Okay, to be precise, I have told you from where. Okay, and estrogen I have not told you, and today I am telling you that it is in the granulosa cells. But these are purane concepts. We don't have to leave human reproduction there, and we have to understand only this. You have to combine them. You have to intermix them and understand the concepts in your mind. Then you will remember it for a very long time. ओके, दूर तक याद रखना है, दूर तक आपको कुछ हासिल करना है, तो यू हैव टू रिमेम्बर थिंग्स बाय रिलेटिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट्स. ओके, so this is the normal process, normal hormone level in a female. But with contraceptive pills, what happen, you can say the progesterone and the estrogen levels are very high from day 1 to day 21, very high. Okay, so there are no chances of any elevation or anything. Okay, this is how it works. Clear? And I know you have been clearly read this menstrual cycle. Okay, I have confidence in you, beta. जाके और एक बार पढ़ना है. Okay, now coming to the injection and implants. Here, same combination. Again, progestins and the estrogen, they both together. Either they are implanted in the subdermal layer of the hand, like this, in the like this. Okay, so either it will be implanted like this, or it will be given as a form of injection also. Examples, please remember DMPA and Depo-Provera. Okay, that is same only. These are two names for one particular thing. Okay, Depo-Provera and DMPA. Okay, either in the form of injection or in the form of implant. Okay, in the implant, you will take the progesterone and the estrogen combination. Clear? So this is very easy. But here, this one will help us in another thing, that is during the cases of rape or the sexual assault, then the prevention of having conception is avoided if the person is already have installed or taken the implants. Okay, so this is one more importance of this implant. Okay, now coming to the surgical methods. Okay, so surgical methods are commonly called as sterilization. Okay, so sterilization means what? We are sterilizing something. Okay, so here in females, the process is called as tubectomy. In the males, the process is called as vasectomy. You have to remember, beta, vasectomy is for the vas deferens. Tubectomy is for the fallopian tube. If you find it difficult to remember, fallopian tube, tubectomy, vasectomy. Okay, so vasectomy in the male. So here what happened? The doctor will cut and tie the vas deferens so that there is no possibility of meeting the sperm and egg. Okay, so this happens in the males. Okay, and tubectomy in the females, where the fallopian tubes are cut, made a small incision, they cut there and they will tie. Okay, this is tubectomy. Two very important surgical methods, also called as sterilization, and these are very poorly reversible. If I can say not very poorly, it is almost impossible. Okay, अगर कोई try भी करे कि हाँ मुझे reversible करना है, तो the complications will be there. Okay, so it is a permanent method. Okay, and this method is suggested to those people who don't want to have kids or children in their life. No, they're satisfied. Huh, I have two kids and I'm happy with it. Okay, so I don't want to take any other alternative contraceptives. I will go for this surgical method. Okay, so this is one of the permanent method. Okay, now there's a previous year question on your screen. Please read the question and try to answer. Which of the following is a hormone releasing IUD? Examples are given. Meanwhile, I will launch the poll. Please answer me in the poll and also in the chat, because I always appreciate those students who answer me in the chat and those who are active in the chat. Okay, and for the YouTube students also, I request them to answer in the chat. All my YouTube students, please answer. Very good. Very good. I'm so happy, appreciated. All the students are correct here. I'm so happy. Okay, I'll end the poll. I have given you 30 seconds. That is more than enough because it's a very simple question. Na? So there's no need to take more time. Okay, so यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? So we are talking about the hormone releasing IUD. I told you IUDs are of three types, right? So non-medicated IUD, okay? And the second one is copper releasing IUD. And the third one is hormone, okay? So hormone releasing IUD. So I have told you to remember the examples, okay? So multi-load is copper, okay, copper releasing IUD. This is hormone releasing IUD. These are not IUDs. These are nothing but barrier method. Okay, cervical cap and the word. So answer for this question is B, LNG, levonorgestrel 20. Clear? Is everyone clear with this? Do you have any doubts here? If you have any doubts, please make sure to ask in the chat box. If no, give me a thumbs up so that I will move ahead. Yes, we are good to go. Give me a thumbs up. I'm waiting. Okay. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now we'll move ahead. Okay. Right. So now we'll talk about the MTP, or the medical termination of pregnancy. Okay, so this MTP, or the medical termination of pregnancy, or is also called as induced abortion. Okay, abortion means what? See, this will be done when the couple doesn't want to have the baby. Okay, doesn't want to have the baby. Thank you, Kolhapur. Thank you so much. Okay, so at that time, the couple will decide, no, we will not have the child. So then they will go for the MTP. Okay, so there will be many surgical procedures, or many kits will be taken. There will be an MTP kit, okay, which consists of two types of tablets, mifepristone and mifeprostone. Okay, so MTP ke tablets bhi hote hain. There will be the surgical procedures also. So with several means, there will be a termination of pregnancy. Okay, but our country, India, government of India has legalized this in 1971 to avoid the misuse of the, to avoid the situations where you can see if there is a woman who has got sexually abused, but unfortunately she has conceived a baby from it. She doesn't want to keep that pain or tragedy with her life, right? So she can legalize, okay, she can legally terminate the pregnancy, okay, with some strict conditions. What are the conditions? Okay, if you are like, no, I don't want to have the female child, so we are doing the MTP kits. So आपने illegally गए और sex determination करवाया, फिर MTP करवाया. This is not okay possible in our country. Please don't do it. It is not correct. Okay, so we should never differentiate between a male and a female child. Okay, so why MTP? Okay, I told you, right? Unprotected intercourse or a failure of contraception. Okay, in the case of coitus, the failure ho gaya, if a couple is using a condom, it has got ruptured, possibilities there. Okay, so this is how. Now, for when or up to what time MTP is safe? It will be safe up to the 12 weeks of pregnancy. Okay, so only in the first trimester it is possible to do the termination of pregnancy. If you do it in the second trimester, it is very riskier and it might be life threatening for both mother and the child. We cannot say, but mother will be, okay, in risk. So we have to keep these things in mind. So this is a surgical method. You can see there is an implantation, and this curette will take down this part of embryo. Okay, I told you there will be an MTP kit, which are the tablets. You usually call it as MTP kit, which consists of two types of tablets. It is like this. Okay, there will be 4 tablets of one combination and another tablet. Okay, mifepristone and mifeprostone medical termination. Clear now? So let's talk something about the sexually transmitted disease. We have to be very careful while doing the copulation or sexual interaction, because these diseases might be life-threatening sometimes. Okay, so some of the examples might be chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis. These are bacterial diseases, and viral, you can see here, and the parasitic. Clear? These are important. Please remember the examples. Okay, among all these, HIV and the hepatitis are the very risky ones. Like, मतलब क्या बताऊं बेटा, बहुत risky ones, hepatitis and HIV. Okay, please remember those. Okay, now, so here in our country or in other countries also, except hepatitis B, herpes, and HIV, other diseases can be cured if they're detected early. Okay, like syphilis is there and other diseases. If we detect it early, then we can cure that. Okay, so there might be many early symptoms like, okay, itching in the genital area, some very okay, smelly or fishy smell kind of fluid discharge. There might be slight pain or swelling. These are some of the symptoms you have to remember. And this will lead to difficult problems, more upcoming problems that might be the inflammation in the pelvis area, ectopic pregnancy. If you have, or if any person, okay, have the STD, it might be difficult for them to conceive or have the babies. Okay, so even cancer in sometimes. Clear? We have to please be careful and use the condoms while the intercourse process, because it is one of the easiest method to avoid the chances. Okay, so here I have told you the prevention. What are the preventions? Avoid the sexual contact with the unknown partners or multiple partners. Multiple partners and unknown partners should never be included in that process. And use of condoms during the coitus. Coitus means nothing but copulation. Copulation is sexual intercourse. Okay, all these terms are good enough to use for sexual intercourse. Okay, and now if in case you have doubts in this, you can always consult a doctor and get an idea of what to do, how to get the precautionary measures and everything. Clear? This slide is like super duper important. I cannot explain enough. Okay, so you have to remember the disease, you have to remember the pathogen and some of the symptoms, because it will be asked in the NEET like match the following. Okay, so then you have to know which is the causal organism for which disease. Okay, so this is very important. It is there in your NCERT. Please remember to, learn it. Okay, learn it and remember it. Clear? Now, there's nothing to explain here, so I'll move ahead. So you have seen some infertility parts, right? So infertility might happen in both males and females. Okay, first I will tell you what exactly is the difference between infertility and sterility. Okay, so sterility ka matlab kya hai beta? Complete. If you have heard this word bunch, okay, barren. Okay, so here there's no possibility of fertilization. Okay, why should avoid drink and alcohol before coitus, ma'am? See, you should avoid drinks and alcohol anytime and always, not just before the coitus. Okay, not just before the coitus. Everyone has to avoid these alcoholic beverages because you will lose your so nervous system. Nervous system ka breakdown ho jayega beta, and you will not have the awareness of what you're doing and how you're doing. Okay, to maintain the moral ethics, to maintain and to safeguard ourselves from having something serious, to avoid all these circumstances and the situations, it is better to avoid the having or consuming alcoholic drinks before the coitus. Okay, so this is just a prevention method for any upcoming severe circumstances. Okay, clear? Here there is no anything more than that. कुछ ज़्यादा scientific नहीं है. Just you have to make sure that this should not happen. Clear? Okay. So sterility means complete no fertilization, and in the infertility, fertilization is possible, but some complications will occur later. Okay, like what? Implantation is not possible. There is a possibility of miscarriages or a child, stillbirth. There are many other things. So sterility means completely not possible. Infertility, slightly possible, but still not able to have a child. Okay, so infertility in male is because a defect in sperm count, sperm structure, motility. Okay, sperm has to move. You have read the capacitation, I guess, in the human reproduction chapter. When the sperm lands in vagina, they are not prepared. They have to get trained. So, kaise train hoga? That process is called as capacitation, because the vaginal atmosphere is acidic. Our sperm has come in a very cozy, seminal fluid or the seminal plasma, and it has to do the action. It has to run in a running race to meet the ovum, right? So for that, it needs to be get trained. That process is capacitation. Okay, so I hope you have read all that. Clear now? So these are the points, and these important things, please remember. So low sperm count is called as oligospermia. Absence of sperm is called as azoospermia. Okay, and then low sperm motility is called as asthenozoospermia. Okay, then defective sperm morphology. You might be wondering, ma'am, what are these? देखो बेटा, मुझे वो फोटो ठीक से नहीं मिला है पे डालने के लिए. Otherwise, I would have show you. Defective sperm means there is possibility of there is a head but no flagella, no tail at all. Okay, so some sperms will have two. They're attached like this. Okay, both are attached. Some have only some defective head and only flagella. So these are all the morphological defects which are possibility found in the sperms. Okay, so these are the teratozoospermia. Okay, try to remember them. Okay, now how infertility is going to happen in females? Okay, there are many reasons. Okay, If you have to speak, infertility reasons will be more in female. I have not kept all the points here because we have to complete this chapter here. So please remember, there is a process of anovulation, not have ovulation is occurring at all, or a deficient or ovulation. Ovulation ठीक से नहीं होना. These are also the infertility reasons. Okay, and other might be proper functioning of corpus luteum is not happening. Ovum is trapped, not released outside the ovary. This is also possible. Fallopian tube might fail to pick up. Okay, so the fimbriae will pick up the ovum, right? That is not possible. There might be anything, literally. So uterine में कुछ problem हो सकता है. There might be problem with the cervical or the cervix. Okay, there might be a problem in the fallopian tube or anything in the ovary, like hormonal changes. So there are many reasons. Okay. Now coming to the very, very, very important part, that is art. Okay, what is art? That we do with the paint and brush. Yeah, that is another art. But this art is called assisted reproductive technologies. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are assisting. Okay, we have assistance of technologies to give the repair or methods to overcome this fertility. Fertility ko overcome karna hai na beta. We don't want infertility in our lives, right? So to overcome, we have taken art. Clear? So first, these are the very important ones you have to remember. The first one is, which we are going to talk today, is in vitro fertilization. Okay, so what is in vitro fertilization? It is commonly called as test tube baby. Please don't get confused here. Test tube baby का मतलब बेबी टेस्ट ट्यूब में नहीं पैदा होता है, भगवान के लिए ऐसे मत सोचो, ठीक है? So this is in vitro. In vivo means happening inside the body. In vitro means happening outside the body in the lab conditions. Okay, that is in vitro. Clear? So here what happened, you will collect the egg from the female donor and collect the sperm from the male donor, and then what you will do, you will fertilize in the in vitro conditions. Okay, so after fertilization in the in vitro condition, you will do that transfer of embryo. Fertilization completed, then cleavage divisions, embryo is formed. That embryo will have the blastomeres. Okay, if the embryo is up to 8 blastomeres or less, then we will do a procedure called as ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian tube. Okay, so that we are going to do the ZIFT process. And now, if the embryo having more than 8 blastomeres, then we will do the IUT or the intrauterine transfer. Okay, please remember this, intrauterine transfer. Okay, and the first in vitro fertilization baby was Louis Brown. He is living in England, or might not be living, we don't know. Abhi gudda ho gaya hoga, pata nahi. Okay, so types of embryo transfer, I told you, ZIFT and IUT. Please remember, ZIFT means what? Transfer. Okay, transfer of very less blastomeres embryo to the fallopian tube. देखो बेटा, fallopian tube में transfer होना is ZIFT. Here what we are going to do, we are going to transfer the embryo into the uterus. Okay, more than 8, here less than 8. Clear? तो आपको ये पता होना चाहिए. Now, going to the second method, this is called GIFT or gamete intrafallopian transfer. Okay, here what happened? There will be a transfer of ovum. Okay, so आप क्या करोगे बेटा? Ovum लोगे donor से, you will take the ovum from a donor and then you will transfer that healthy ovum into another female. So why this is happening? Because there might be a blockage in the fallopian tube or somewhere. That is possible, or this might be possible that the ovaries are not produced in this woman. There are many possibilities. Okay, so but the donor will give the ovum and it is transferred to the another female's fallopian tube. Okay, so here you can see the catheter. Through a catheter, the ovum is transferred inside, and here with the help of movement of sperms, the fertilization process will happen. So this is called GIFT. Gamete. Gamete is ovum. Intra means inside. Intra, fallopian tube. Okay, gamete inside fallopian tube. The transfer of gamete, that is ovum. Okay, and the third method is called intracytoplasmic sperm injection. This is very important. ICSI. Okay, what is it? ICSI. Right. So here what happened? It is another in vitro condition, laboratory condition. Here what you will do? You will take the single sperm from a male partner. Okay, very healthy sperm you pick. Okay, मतलब एकदम से देखने भी healthy हो, everything is perfect, very balanced sperm. You pick that sperm, and through the help of sperm injection or the injection, you will directly insert the sperm into the cytoplasm of a ovum. You can see here the sperm is directly inserted inside the ooplasm or the cytoplasm. This is ICSI. Okay, and there is another method called a SUSI. Okay, SUSI means what? There is a possibility of transferring of healthy sperm into the subzonal area. Okay, so the subzonal area here, वहां पे भी transfer हो सकता है. Okay, so this will completely depend on the condition of the female and the healthy sperm. कितना healthy है sperm and female की condition क्या है? It will be dependent on that. Okay, so ICSI means what? Transfer of healthy sperm inside the cytoplasm. Okay, clear? So after fertilization, the embryo is implanted into the woman's uterus. So where this is happening, this is all happening in the in vitro conditions. So after fertilization, there will be a transfer of embryo into the uterus of woman. Okay. So this is the procedure. You can see the ovaries are collected. Ovaries are collected, and there is a sperm collection and ICSI, which is happening in the in vitro condition. Okay, and you will allow them to have the cleavage divisions, and you will eventually get the embryo. So this embryo is doing the transference into the uterus. Okay, this is ICSI beta. Clear? Now, artificial insemination. So what is artificial insemination? Insemination simply means the ejaculation of sperms into the vagina. Okay, so that is insemination. So here what happened, due to some reason, the male can not directly inseminate inside the female. This might be because of erectile dysfunction, okay, or it might be any reason. So here what we are going to do, we are collecting the sperms, we are a little bit treating them, and then through the injection, we are shifting the sperms inside the uterus. Okay, so this process is also called as intrauterine insemination. Intrauterine because we are directly inserting inside the uterus. Okay, so what we're inserting? We're inserting sperms. Okay, we are only inserting the sperms. This is called as artificial insemination. Ye natural hota hai beta in the couples, but sometimes when there is an erectile dysfunction problem, this process is undertaken. Okay, now what is surrogacy? Okay, surrogacy means like after all the technologies, we have done the art method, we have, contacted the God also, please give us baby, but still God is not responding. So after all this method, we have only one method, that is surrogacy. Okay, so surrogacy matlab kya hota hai beta? You are going to, take another woman's womb, okay, another woman's womb to have the baby. Okay, what we'll do, we'll collect a sperm from a male and females will collect the ovum. We will fertilize it in the in vitro condition and then transfer into another female's body by giving appropriate hormones, because that female has to, the female's body has to, acclimatize with that, embryo, right? So we will give the important hormones together. This is surrogacy. Okay, so surrogacy has been a very big problem in India, but abhi ke liye we don't know, more people are not getting surrogated here. Okay, what happened in like 10 years ago, the foreign people used to come to India, they would give some money and they would do the surrogate. Okay, so surrogacy was very common, and ऐसा करने से क्या होता था ना, यहाँ के जो Indian women थे, they lost the nutrition and they become very unhealthy. Like एक woman 15 से 20 surrogate mother हो जाती थी. It was very bad condition, but government has given the law that no, there is no surrogation in country, but now it has changed, I guess. Okay, so after that there are adoptations. The one of the best method is to adopt the baby. Okay, see, why do we matter? Why does it matter to have only our child or our blood child? Okay, so when there is a humanitarian, when we have the humanity in us, every child is our child, every baby is my baby, right? So adoption is the best method, apart from using so much money on this art techniques. Okay, so इतना पैसा art techniques में डाल दोगे ना, उससे आप कुछ मतलब एक बड़ा ही कोई business खड़ा लोगे, because these are very expensive methods. I'm explaining you them, but here I have told you this handling is needed by the profession, and these are super expensive, and these are not afforded by many people. Okay, so for them, adoption is the very best method. And here, emotional, religious, and social factors are also, included together. Okay, this is a very good thing to do. Okay, we have come to an end. Okay, so please answer the question. To form embryo in vitro, the male gamete is transferred into the female gamete directly. Such technique is called. Okay, I will launch the poll now. Please answer in the poll, and the YouTube students have to answer in the chat. मैं देख रही हूँ YouTube वाले कुछ ज्यादा active नहीं है. Please try to be active so that I'll come to know who is understanding better. Very good. Okay, very nice. Beautiful, beta. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I'm ending the poll. Okay, I'm ending the poll. Very good, Chikbalapur. I appreciate it. Okay, so now what they're asking to form embryo in vitro. Okay, so in vitro में embryo कौन सा होता है? You will please remember. And here what we are saying, male gamete, that means sperm, is transferred into a female gamete directly. Very simple to understand. Directly, male gamete is inserted inside the ovum. This is called as ICSI. But a gift, many people have chosen gift. What happens in the gift is you will transfer the embryo, beta. You will transfer the embryo into the fallopian tube. Okay, so fallopian tube may will transfer, but here it has written gamete, but I have told you, right, there will be blastomeres less than 8, so that embryo will be transferred into the fallopian tube. Hence, D is not the correct option, C is the option. Okay, so it's exactly 11. Thank you for attending the class. Your homework, okay, your homework is to read the NCERT and solve the previous year questions and solve some DPPs. Ma'am, may I know your name, please? I'm the project executive. Okay. For those who don't know me, my name is Ghazala Firdaus, and I'm one of the biology mentor in the Avanti Fellows. And thank you so much. Warm regards from my side also. Thank you and give your valuable feedback. Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you, everyone. If you have any doubts, please make sure to ask. Okay, Chikballapur. Perfect. Time is done. Please be quick, Chikballapur. Please be quick. And everybody can leave the class because it's 11 o'clock. There is no mandate to stay here. As Chikballapur has some doubt, I'll be in the meet to know the doubt. Please be quick in typing because you have other classes also. I know, right? You have other physics and chemistry classes. So thank you for everyone for attending the class. See you next week. Our school. That's for Chikballapur. There are two types of twins. One is monozygotic or identical twins, and there is another type of twins called as dizygotic twins. Okay, so in identical twins, the fingerprint is same. Okay, so if we talk about the dizygotic or the fraternal, there what happens, there is no similarity. Chikballapur, if you still have this doubt, I will check this once more. Okay, I'll check this once more and I will revert back to you. Because according to my knowledge, the fingerprints are identical. But still, if you are, asking me this again, I will once more check it. Okay, so for now, just keep it as it is. Keep it as it is. I will check and I'll revert back to you. Okay, Chikballapur? Clear? Okay, so don't take the answer from here. I'll tell you in the next class. Okay, whether the fingerprints are identical or not. Okay, from my knowledge, they're identical, but I'll revert back to you. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye.